Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, folks. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Marketing Your Practice podcast, the podcast where I have the pleasure of simplifying the marketing and the mindset so you, the chiropractor, can increase your income, your impact, your enjoyment in practice too. In today's episode, we're going to be talking all about attention and how do you get more attention in 2024 and beyond. If we want to have a really thriving practice, attention is one of the key ingredients. We want attention. We want to build more relationships. We need to have a skill set where we can convert those people into patients and retain them for as long as possible over their lifetime until they die or they move out or you stop working. And we also need to have great leadership skills. You can kind of think of that a little bit like a triangle, okay? Where on one side we've got attention, that's our marketing side of things. And the other side, we've got effortless conversion and retention there. And down the bottom of that triangle there is all about leadership. This is not only leadership with our practice members, but it's leadership with our team, because we can't have a thriving practice just by ourselves. We need to know really how we get to manage our team. Now, in today's episode, we're going to talk all about attention, and we'll differentiate that from some other things we might be looking at with regards to our marketing as well. Now, attention is more than just reach. We can nowadays get our message in front of millions of people. And it becomes almost blasé for me to say that now, because I wouldn't, 10 or 15 years ago, that just wasn't possible. It was very difficult to get a video that might be viewed by a million people. You either had to have lots of money, you had to be famous, or you had to be very lucky. And without one of those three things, it just didn't happen. But over the last 18 months, we've had several videos from our practice that have had in excess of 1 million views. And I know many, many other chiropractors clients that I've worked with have had the same. Now, the interesting thing is of those videos, we've had no direct new patients come from them. Now, I'm not saying they haven't played a role in building the trust and the relationships. They have. But just getting in front of more people is not the solution. What we want to do is get in front of the right people. And we want to get in front of people in a meaningful way where we can actually capture attention as well. Attention is what gets people to stop. Attention is what gets people to think and then engage. Attention is the first step that allows us to build a relationship, okay? And when we get to build a relationship, that's what ultimately will get people on the phone and calling us. When we build a relationship, that's what allows for effortless conversion and retention as well, okay? So in today's episode, I want to talk you through 10 different strategies that will help both online and offline to help you get more attention, okay, which is what will ultimately help your practice really thrive. And so if you really ramp up this side of the triangle, and even if you don't, improve your leadership and your conversion and retention, this will make a real difference to your practice. But you don't have to just work on one of the sides of those triangles. We can work on all three. And if you keep on listening to the podcast throughout this year, I'll help you with all of those. So let's work our way through 10 things, 10 tips, steps that'll help you get more attention in 2024. Okay, the first one is authenticity. The world needs more of you. We have very sophisticated authenticity radars, and when we're online and we see somebody sharing a message, if we can sense that there's something inauthentic about it, we immediately lose trust and we move beyond them. And we don't get a lot of second chances about this too. Now, this can be one of the challenges in that. So for Community Influencer, we create content for all of our members that they can pick and choose from each and every month. So they're never stuck for coming up with content. But if they don't add their own voice to it, if they're not speaking to their community, to their particular audience there, then they lose some of the authenticity and they won't get the results that they should from it. If you have another company that's posting for you, and there's several of those that do, or an agency that posts on your behalf, if there's no personality if there's no personal branding in it, then you're missing authenticity. And that will be one of the reasons why your content won't get attention. I was doing a review this morning of a chiropractor who on the surface looks like he's doing everything right, but it just lacks authenticity. I'm not seeing his personal branding or his energy anywhere through that. And personal branding is one of those things there that even the biggest of companies are starting to push forwards. And I think this was led, we saw Steve Jobs with Apple. We see the likes of Elon Musk, Richard Branson with Virgin. More and more of these big companies are trying to have a personal branding element. And even if you have a practice of multiple doctors, it's important that we get to build relationships with the doctors, not just the brand of the practice there. Okay. We want to build relationships with them because we want to see authentically who are they. We want to see if there's a value match there. And if I'm going to bring my family to you and if I'm going to come and see you for the rest of my life, I need to see that you're real there also. Okay. So now the challenge with authenticity, the irony of it is it takes time for us to find our voice. Because what we tend to do to start with is just copy the voice of the people who we admire, our teachers, our preachers, our influencers as well. But the world doesn't need more of your influences. The world needs more of you. And so with time, you can find that authentic voice. Now, I want to put a caveat on this. In fact, I think it was Seth Godin said too, the best part of you or the best version of you is enough. This doesn't mean that you don't have to do some work, okay? If you're authentically being you, but you're not a great communicator, if you're authentically being you and you show up in a way that's gruff and angry and all those sort of things there too, we need to find the best version of you. And this is why you might need to have some coaches, some support people around you who are giving you feedback, but let your flavor come through it. And this will help you get attention. It has to leap free and know that you are enough, okay? So step number one, more attention, is be more authentic, okay? Now, this here dovetails very much into step number two, and this is we need to be different. Social media is so vanilla that we see and often are told this idea that content is king. Create great content and you'll get a lot of attention. And the truth of the matter is, most of the content that's out there is dead boring, okay? We're not interested in it. It's not good content. It's the same as everyone else. No one's showing a different perspective. Everybody's just kind of sitting on the fence and they don't have an opinion about anything. And so if you want to get more attention, be different, okay? Look at what all the other chiropractors in your town are doing and start to do something different. This might mean if they're on social media, stop social media. Go back to kind of community-based events, do public talks, get on the radio instead, maybe go on the television as well. So from a marketing point of view, it's better to be different than it is better to be better as well, okay? So start to show how you're different. Now, this might mean innovative services. What different things are you doing? But the best way for you to be different is by niche specialization. So what do you want to be the best at? Who are you the best at looking after? And if you can't be the best, can you be the best in your community? And if you can't strive to be the best in your community at this, then you're always going to struggle with attention, okay? If you can look at your community across there and know that there are 3 chiropractors that are better than you, then this ain't going to be great. Your marketing's not going to be good and your practice isn't going to be thriving. Now, is there an area that you can be better than those 3 practices, that you can be different from them rather than better there, okay? We need to find an audience where we can show them that we're different for those, okay? There is an audience for everybody, okay? So rather than trying to reach everyone because you think that there's more numbers there, you need to be different if you want to get more attention as well. So stop trying to focus on everybody. Step number 3 for more attention is all about consistency. Now, it takes time to get attention, and rarely the first time we're exposed to somebody where we get attention and then build that relationship. The Google will tell us from their research that it takes hours, up to 7 hours of content, over 11 different touch points, 4 different platforms. But there are many relationships that I've built with people online in both paid and non-paid relationships where they showed up, I ignored them, showed up, I ignored them. But after them showing up consistently, they got my attention. I'm like, this person is consistently showing up. It builds trust. It piques interest as well. So you need to have plans in place so that you can consistently do this. Don't expect to run one community workshop and get attention. Don't expect to build one joint venture partner and expect your practice to be full. Don't expect to do social media for a few months. We want to be consistently being there as well. Number 4 here that'll help you get more attention, if it's done right, is vulnerability. So when it's done right, this is about sharing challenges in a way that builds trust and connection. Brené Brown has done a lot of amazing work to show that what vulnerability does is it actually strengthens relationships when it's done right. Now, when it's done wrong, there's an intent difference behind it, because when it's done wrong, we're sharing our challenges and our vulnerabilities to gain sympathy rather than to connect, okay? And I've seen this done again and again. So I'll find somebody online who might be sharing some of the challenges of their life. And what happens with it is typically you'll get great amount of connection from vulnerability. This will happen, a lot of engagement there too. And they'll think, wow, this is what really worked. And so they'll show up week after week sharing their vulnerabilities, and we get bored of it, okay? I'm not on social media or any media for that matter, whether it be in person, one-on-one, I don't want to hear of your problems all the time, okay? Occasionally, I want to hear of your vulnerability. It will connect us because it'll show the human side of you. It'll let me and the community know that you're imperfect like I am, okay? And that can be a great tool for creating connection as well. So share your challenges, okay? Don't make it look like you're perfect all the time. And this sense of vulnerability can be great for getting attention and building trust, okay? Now, number 5, if you want more attention, is kindness, okay? Kindness is missing across the board in our life nowadays, whether it be when we're driving our car, at the service station, putting petrol in, grabbing a coffee. In any of our interactions, it's missing. I had an appointment earlier on this morning to have my knee looked at by a surgeon, and the 2 reception staff that greeted me could do with a healthy dose of kindness. They were gruff and rough, and they weren't mean, but they were very aloof in the whole process that was going on, and it missed that real kindness. And we can have kindness in the way that we talk in our videos. We can have kindness in the way that we respond to challenges. We can have kindness in all of our interactions. And when people see kindness, it's very attractive, okay, because we don't see a lot of it, and it will bring people to you. Patient appreciation events, hosting these special days to just thank the community, to thank your existing patients, to care for them. I put a challenge out to community influencer members last week for them to just write 3 simple thank you notes every day to, whether it be practice members, other staff, people in their community, and not just for the chiropractors to be doing it, but for the entire team to be doing it. It's an act of kindness, and it does come back, multiple fold if we do that as well. Number 6 here, if we want more attention, we need to be responsive, which means we need to be present when people are asking for advice, whether it be online or offline or through our website, through emails, out in our community. We need to make sure that we're there ready to and respond as quickly as possible. We have a very short tolerance for waiting nowadays. I talked about the 2 grumpy ladies this morning. I also had to wait 45 minutes, and I could feel my tolerance going down. I could feel my kindness being challenged there as well. But we need to be responsive. If somebody asks you a question and you want to be encouraging them to ask questions on social media, across your website, is that we need to make sure that we are responsive and follow through and do what we say we're going to do. So this means is also with our practice members. If we tell them we're going to get some exercises or review something for them, make sure you're responsive and you actually get that done as well. So you might need to set up feedback loops with your staff. Okay, you don't want this all on your back, but what systems can you put in place so that you are responsive if somebody leaves a Google review, that you follow up quickly there as well. Number 7, if you're to leverage attention, then we're going to need to leverage technology. Okay, so we want technology in a place so we can post consistently, so we don't have to be on there all the time. We can have technology that can help us with our responsiveness. And again, we want to be leveraging technology for things like video. Video is still by far the tool that'll help you get more attention than anything else. Engagement rates are highest with video than they are with anything else. And so you're going to need to learn the skill set of creating helpful videos and showing up in a way that's authentic, that's kind, that's vulnerable, in a way that's not needy though as well. And video takes time to master. Very few people are good at it right out of the gate. And on a community influencer coaching call this morning, we had a fantastic chat with a new member who's really struggling to, push the record button, so to speak, there too. He's overwhelmed with the technology and doesn't know what to say. Now, really, the technology is not a problem because you just hold your iPhone up in front of you, but he's scared, and that's understandable. When we're doing something new like this, it can absolutely be scary. And I like to remind people that what we see online nowadays is the end result. We don't see all the trials beforehand. I was laughing with Tony Ebel recently about a short video that he made that was a 45 to 90-second video, and it took him 11 tries. Now, what you and I will see is try number 11 out there, and Tony will look confident and certain and charismatic, and he'll look like he's got it all together there, but you missed the 10 failures beforehand that he had to go through before he got to that. So just remember, regardless of who it is, and even in our Academy Award-winning movies, there's not one shot. There are multiple takes that it has to get them, okay? So you're going to need to get good with technology and get comfortable at being on technology as well. Tip number 8, if we want more attention, is that you want to start to increase your community engagement. This is not just about digital and online work, but community engagement. They're building relationships with sporting groups, church groups, spiritual groups, groups that have the same interest, athletics, you name it, through there too. But building these and having active, meaningful participation in community events. We'll talk about this is part of our vision and our mission, and it really parlays into some other things that we'll be talking about in a moment there too. So, collaboration with local businesses, fitness centers, gyms, Pilates studios, or just other businesses that share the vision, the mission, the values that you do as well, okay? We don't want to be having superficial relationships here, but community involvement will really help to get more attention, because if somebody sees you in the community, then they see you online, and then they're over at your website. We start to get this idea of this, you're everywhere. And this is part of what is known as the mere exposure effect, MERE. It's a psychological phenomenon that says the more we see somebody, the more likely we are to develop an affinity for them, okay? So you've all had situations where you appear to be everywhere, okay? This speeds up the cycle before somebody gets to confidence about making an appointment, and it deepens the relationships as well. So make sure that there's plenty of community engagement in groups that share your values as well. Now, number 9, if you're to pull all of this off, you're really going to need to have a great team, okay? There's lots that I've talked about in here, and you shouldn't be responsible for all of it any more than you're responsible for all the other runnings of your practice. We have somebody answer the phone and take payments and schedule appointments, all those things there too. You need a team behind you. Now, I've noticed a growing trend over this last 12 months of more and more chiropractors wanting to shift towards what they often kind of talk about as a streamlined practice with no CA and automatic bookings and automatic payments. And first of all, I can understand how attractive that is. But if your CA is only answering the phone and taking payments, you're missing out on the other 95% of the wonderful work they can be doing, like helping you get more attention, build relationships, support your practice members in their whole journey through here. So engage them in your marketing, engage your staff in your community outreach. They want to be involved in all of this, and they probably have a different view on it that you do, because most of our staff haven't drunk the chiropractic Kool-Aid in the way we do, and they can give you more real person advice about how you can reach these people. Number 10 is have a mission beyond just your business, okay? Have values beyond just your business there as well. When you have a clear and impactful mission that drives your practice, and you share that, more and more people are going to want to engage with that too. It's one of the drives when people are looking to engage with an important business, the business that's going to have a big impact on their life. They're looking for that. We want to see in everything from our milk and bread to our petrol station that they have a mission outside their 4 walls, okay? This will help you stand out from other practices. This will help you get attention. This will help to build relationships, okay? So first of all, if you don't have a mission, if you don't have a vision beyond just your business there too, then get one. And then if you do have one, then you need to start to communicate it. You need to let them know, hey, listen, this is not just about us helping families to grow healthier and live a drug-free life. We know that the health of our community abroad is built upon the health of our families. And so we're not about just helping the health of the family. The work that we do makes a difference to our communities on all levels there too. And that's why we're so passionate about the chiropractic work that we do. That's an example there of sharing just a little bit of our mission beyond our 4 walls as well. When you lack a clear mission, or you have one that doesn't resonate with your patients or your community as well, you're not going to get the attention that you deserve. Now, that's 10. I want to give you a bonus one as well. And the bonus point here that will help you get more attention is you must be patient. This process takes time. And that's why I want you to commit to this for 2024. And that's probably a reasonable time frame over the next 12 months to really garner the attention there too. So often we hear of, I often think about, music groups who, we hear an album or a song of theirs, we go, oh, this is fantastic, I love it, and we think they're brand new. And then we find out that this is actually their 5th album that they've had out, or, they've been producing music for the last 10 years, but finally they got enough momentum to get the attention. You want to be one of those overnight successes that took, in this case, 12 months to bring about. So be patient. Okay, understand that getting attention takes time as well. If you do nothing else this year, but get more attention, it will end up with more new patients in your practice. Okay. Even if you don't change your conversion or your attention or your leadership. Now, again, it's very hard for us to build a practice if we don't have a regular flow of new patients. And that's why I think that attention comes first as well. Let's summarize those 10 steps with the bonus as well there too. And we'll tie things up as well. So tip number 1 is authenticity. Be you as well. And as a part of being you, be different. Share with your community how you're different from the other people. Use that word there as well. Consistency is the key. You need to make sure that you're showing up regularly. And with regards to showing up regularly from time to time, make sure that you're being vulnerable. Vulnerable not to get your needs met, but vulnerable for you to be honest and open, to show your weaknesses and to connect as well. Don't ignore kindness. Kindness is a super force that will help you get more attention as well. Number 6 was responsiveness. We need to be there when our community's there, answer questions, interact, converse with people on a timely manner as well. Number 7, make sure you leverage technology to help you do this all together there too, whether it be planning and scheduling. And certainly one of the technologies you want to be leveraging is video. Number 8, make sure that there's plenty of community engagement. Okay. Be on the ground, feet on the pavement, meeting people where they are, not just on the digital platforms also. Double down on team. Please don't try and do this alone. Now, some of this team might be contractors for you. Some of this team might be your CAs. Some of this team might be a nephew or a niece or a cousin or somebody like that can help you, that maybe you just employ for a couple of hours a week too. Make sure that you have a mission beyond just your business, and then make sure you're sharing that mission, that vision, those values as well. And then finally, be patient, folks. Now, our communities change when we as chiropractors get more attention, because I touched on this beforehand. My mission, that's mission and vision. I put those words together there. My vision and mission here with the work I do with Community Influencer is to build a healthier world. And I know the way that I do that is by helping chiropractors get more attention. When you implement these things I'm talking about, we get more attention. Chiropractors become, instead of the best kept secret, they become a super weapon, a secret weapon for our communities there that helps them be happier, healthier, and find authenticity in where health really comes from. And I believe that's what our planet needs for it to thrive and prosper. Our communities need you getting more attention, folks. So head down, bum up, get to work. As always, folks, thanks for all that you do. Keep saving lives. Get to work on creating more attention. See you back here real soon. Bye. If you've enjoyed listening to this podcast, you have to come and check out my Community Influencer program. It's my monthly coaching program where we take all this material and I'll work with you to help you apply it, implement it, and systemize it. The Community Influencer Group Coaching Program is designed to help you increase your practice income, impact, and enjoyment. Join me over at anguspyke.com/join. That's anguspyke.com/join. I'd love to see you there.